I can see the stars align, dance around the moon every night. And now my eyes are open wide, and the sky has never looked so bright. And I don't need to see the road to believe, yeah. 'Cause this is where I'm meant to be, I believe. And I feel the magic everywhere. It's all around us, it's in the air. And I see the magic we can share. So much wonder everywhere. And I feel the magic, can you imagine? And I feel the magic, can you imagine? And I feel the magic, it's all around us. And I feel the magic, it's all around us. There's wonder on this winding road in front of me, yeah. 'Cause I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And I feel the magic everywhere. It's all around us, it's in the air. And I see the magic we can share. So much wonder everywhere. And I feel the magic, can you imagine? And I feel the magic, can you imagine? And I feel the magic, it's all around us.
I do feel the magic, especially on a Monday evening. Oh, my Lord. I think that fairy's been playing in my hair. I know she's around tonight, so I know there'll be some people that are happy about that. Good evening, everyone. This is Gwenda from H.E.A.L with Gwenda, if you're new here. And to everyone that comes and joins me regularly on a Monday night, hello. So let's see, Karen Mack, Nicole Onley on with us tonight. Hey, g'day to you. Kim Jane, hello, lovely. Jackie Hall, hi. Lisa, Kelly and Ash. It's awesome to see you all. Thank you. Lisa, that's very kind of you. She's let us know that she's driving. So she'll be responding when she gets home. Love your thoughtfulness, everybody that comes into this community. It's really nice. So I mentioned that I can feel the frivolity, and from the look of this mess, frivolity of fairy, which would be Queen Anastasia, around. And I've been able to feel that vibrant energy that she has pretty much all day. It's been in and out. And then as I was getting ready for you, it became quite strong. But something else that not took over from her, but certainly became very prominent, was the aftershave smell of my dear nephew, Jack. So I have not had communication, not seen my beautiful nephew, Jack, for several months now. So it was really lovely. And I must say it sat me back to go, oh, are you here with me, Jack? A lovely surprise. And this is one of the ways that spirit let you know that they're around, is you will smell them, because it's something. Mandy, hello to you, beautiful girl. It's something that it's synonymous to them, and it's something you recognize about them. So when I was nursing, the orderlies would tell me that they knew I was on shift because they could smell me in the lifts, and I didn't know whether to go, gee, that's nice, or So when you become known by a smell, a scent, the other thing is this mop of hair. I've had people say, oh, I knew where you were in the restaurant. I recognized the hair. So if I was to leave this world, yahoo! Oh, yeah, no, not yet. Sorry, got excited about nothing. If I was to leave this world, there would be certain things that I could use to let you know that I was visiting, that I was around, and your loved ones and your pets do that as well. So this is one of the key ways that you can know that someone from the heavens or in between is trying to reach you and let you know they're there. Now, does it mean that because you can smell them, you get a sense of their hair or whatever it is, that they have something drastically important to tell you? No, it doesn't. It means that they are thinking of you. They want you to know that this is not all there is to life, that they are still living. They live in a better place than here. No, that's right. We have heaven on earth, don't we? So they are just letting you know. And also, if you've been talking about them, thinking about them, if you've been asking to hear from them, then they're answering you. But so often people ignore it. And some beautiful loved ones I know have gone to the effort, and believe me, it's an effort for them to manifest themselves in a shopping centre. So, you know, you're waiting to go out through the checkout, and all the checkouts are busy and there's all that noise, and you're waiting in line, and then through the checkouts where the people are, you know, going through and everything, and there's lots of people meandering, hurrying, whatever. And you think, oh my gosh, there goes, and I might think there goes Jack. You might think, oh, there's my Nana. And then your mind has its say. Oh, don't be silly. She's not here. He's not here. Don't be silly. So when you look again, oh, they're gone. They're not there. Good evening, Linda Gold. They're not there. And you're like, you see? But that's because you let your mind get in the way. If instead you had gone, oh, wow, and sent your love across the room, across the aisle, wherever, oh my gosh, you would have an amazing encounter. One that you would not be able to find words for. One that would leave you in tears. Tears of joy that are laced in sadness. Until we can really get that alignment and that acceptance that this isn't it, and even where they are on that particular level that they've come in on, that's not it either. And as soon as we can have that complete alignment, unquestionable alignment, then it's going to be laced in sadness. Now, I, for one, and Kelly, we terribly miss our dogs. My beautiful boy kept coming up on my phone the last couple of days. So I asked, are you around? Because I had been saying to someone that I haven't seen him for ages. I haven't seen him since probably a month or two after he left. And every time I would think of him, I would just lose it. I would break my heart. And yeah, that's the humanness. I wanted him back. I wanted him in my life. He was such a big part of my life. And as Kelly knows, and the way she feels about her beautiful boy and girl too, they had incredible personalities. They weren't just a dog. They were an amazing living being that we had phenomenal connection with. So don't for a minute think that I don't succumb to sadness and that sense of loss. It's horrendous. So where did I go with the alignment? Well, yes, I'm aligned, but when I want them back, I want them back. That's my human heart wanting them here in this world. Is that making sense? I'm not immune to grief or loss. by any stretch of the imagination. I can, however, bring myself into that alignment so that when they present, there you go. So there's Jack. So when they present, then I don't do the, oh, they're not here, but I don't know what I was seeing there. It must have been a lookalike. No, I can really go, hey, Jack, how you going? And it's great to see you. And if my Suvius or my Caesar was to appear, oh my gosh, I would be on my knees and hugging them in spirit. Here you go. Because they're not there in the tangible physical body, but you can still have that virtual hug. You know why I say that? Because when you attune to energy and you have that higher frequency alignment, you can feel the energy. So you can feel the virtual hug. I'm going to lead that into a tremendous, I'm going to call it a privilege. One of my beautiful clients kept recommending this lady bring her daughter to me, and it finally happened. There are many reasons in this lady's life as to why it's been a case of finally happened. And I met with her, and the session was actually for her daughter. Her daughter is in late 30s, something like that. She's an adult anyway, but she has come into this world with many difficulties and challenges. And I was able to, before the session, find out what that was about, what happened. Was it something that she had agreed to in this life, or was it something that took place through the birthing, because the birthing was very difficult for her and for her mum? And it was amazing. But this young lady, because of circumstance and because of the challenges she has, she is not keen on conversing with strangers, meeting strangers. Well, her mum was very surprised, delightfully surprised, to find that her daughter wanted to sit with me and wanted to actually talk to me. She would ask her mum, can I ask? And she said, do you want to talk to Gwenda? You talk to her. So the energy thing. The young lady said that her hands and her wrists were giving her too much pain. And I said to her, I'm going to do something really special with you. I'd like you to put your hands together and I'm going to hold them. And I'm going to hold them in a pink ball of beautiful, feeling, warm energy. Now, I'm talking to her soul. I'm not talking to this human mind, the mind of the earth. So you could see the human mind getting a little bit like, what's she talking about? And then see the beautiful light of the soul going, oh, yes, this is going to be good for me. And the reason I say it said that was because this soul has been so trapped in this body, it just yearns for expansion, like freedom to be able to move. So I asked the young lady to just hold her hands together, and then I focused on the energy and surrounded her hands in a beautiful pink ball of energy. And then I described it to her as a lovely scarf going all around her hands and wrapping them up in a beautiful big ball. And I could feel the vibration of the energy getting stronger and stronger. And her mum was astounded at her response. She felt it. She got a fright, so I had to bring her back into it's okay and help her settle into the energy. And then we finished. And a little while later, she was pondering, she was looking down, and then she wanted to talk to me. And then we were talking about her feet that were giving her pain and her hips. I was looking in and looking at her bowel and small bowel by then. And then she said something to her mum, and her mum said, well, you tell Gwenda. So she looks right up in the screen, got really close, and she said, my hands feel better now. I feel better now. And then she said she needed to get up and get a drink. And I said, you do that. So there is nothing that prevents you from being able to tap into accessing the energy that is the energy of your soul, energy of the divine, and be able to bring that in such a way to help you with your body, your life, finding your life's purpose, being able to really ground and center yourself in that energy. But what does it take? Well, I'm going to go back to a client that I saw on Saturday. This beautiful lady began her healing journey of cancer of the bowel with me about 5 years ago. She did not have any of the recommended treatments. She had part of her bowel removed, but that was all. And after that, she came to me. And she said how she's been raised as a very strong believing Catholic. And I love how the Catholics make that announcement, because I've worked with many over the years. They'd probably be more in numbers than any other religion, which I find very interesting. So she was so astounded at the change in her health and also the way that her life changed. Like when she came to me, she had such incredible food intolerances, food allergies, skin eruptions. Her list of physical ailments, aside from the bowel cancer, was really quite extensive. So when all of that cleared up, she had a real thirst for more and wanted to know how this worked. So here we are 5 years on, and she comes for what she calls regular maintenance sessions. And it has been her desire to have a closer relationship with God. Remember, she's a Roman Catholic, and for me, that's my fella, God. Mine, did you get that? I'm claiming him. So this year, her first session, I asked her, what would be something that you want for this year, like an intention? And she said, seeing, being and seeing. And I said, oh, interesting. What does that mean? And she said, to see more when I'm praying and giving thanks, to visualize it. I want to hear God, which of course made my heart skip a million steps and do a little dance. She said, I'm truly after God's truth. And I said, what does that mean? And she said, well, when someone uses God's words and you know that it's not right, I want to truly believe without question. I'm like, okay. So that was really interesting. But when I saw her on Saturday, I asked her how she was going with that. So I gave her some practices and tips to do. And she said, I have a rope tied to my world, dragging me through it, and there's something saying, I don't want to be in that. I said, well, you better explain a bit more of that. So on Saturday, when I was talking to her, and I thought, this is so exciting, I want to share it with Soul and Beyond, my beautiful people here. Remember, she said she wanted to see and she wanted to hear God's word, God's messages. So I said to her, what does it mean for you to see? What is it you want to see? And she said, what I'm supposed to see. So she needed to actually explore what that means more to her. And then she went on to say she doesn't want to react off the cuff from the ego. when other people are doing stuff or talking. And then I asked her, what is God's truth? What does that mean to you? And she said, I want to truly believe and not question anything. And I want to live with purpose. Then she went on to tell me, as a lot of Roman Catholics like to tell me, oh, I have faith. I have faith and I pray. Some even go to church. And I know one of our beautiful ladies here is an RC and goes to church. And she'll understand what I'm talking about here. So here is a brilliant example of God's word and his messengers being ignored. Have I seen this before? I see it all the time. I ask people to do something specific to connect. But I tried that once before and but it doesn't work. Or it didn't work for me. Did you get it? I tried it once before. Yeah, I've read about that. I don't think it's good for me. So there's more excuses than they can poke a stick at. And for those of you who were here last week, which was a really powerful show, and if you weren't able to get the recording, you're welcome to let me know and I'll send it to you, because last week was Saint Germain and it was really very to the point and pertinent. So she said she has true faith, which makes me smile. And I asked her, if you have true faith, why is it that you question? Oh, she said, I don't question me. I question God. I question what other people say. Oh, I said, right. So that's true faith. And she went, oh, now I've said it. Doesn't really sound like it. I said, oh, very good, because it's not at all. If you've got true faith, there's no doubt. You can't doubt yourself, and you can't doubt what you see, what you smell, what you hear. And you certainly don't ignore the signs, the messages. If you want a good laugh about signs and ignoring them, go and watch Bruce Almighty. It's brilliant. It's well depicted on how people ignore the signs. So she asked me, I don't know, a year, maybe 2 years ago, something like that, about getting a new car. And I said to her at the time, the message that came through was, it's not available for you yet. And this is like a year or 2 years. And she went, not available yet, but my old car's starting to fall to bits. And I said, well, see, now you want to argue about it. You've asked about a new car, you get the answer, and you want to argue, protest it. She's like, oh, okay, I didn't think it was like that. Well, that's what you've done. You don't like their answer, so you want to kick up about it. Yeah, well, but my car, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, you're missing the point here. So the new car arrives. And she said, from 10 minutes of driving it out of the car lot, there was something wrong. And she had to take it back. When she got it back, she had to take it back again. And she said, I was saying, Gwenda, you said it was my sister's car that would have all the problems, not mine. This is not fair. I see, it makes me laugh. And I said, right. So what if I say to you, this is not your car? She goes, oh, it's funny you say that. I don't feel like it is. And I said, so I'm going to say it. It's not your car. Without hesitating, she said, you know, it's funny that, because when the car salesman was telling us that our car was going to be another 6 months, and then he said, but I've got one coming in that you will like, which is to my client, you will like, and that'll be in 2 weeks. So you can have that if you like, instead of waiting 6 months for your car. And what did she do? She said, great. And she told me that even as she and her sister stood out the front of that car yard and said, something doesn't feel right about this. I don't feel excited. And her sister said, I don't really want to sign the contract yet. And they both stood there like two pigeons on a branch and had this conversation saying, I don't really, no, something's not right. But they went ahead and they signed it. And she went ahead and she got that car the 2 weeks later, and she's had no end of trouble with it. I said to her, it is not your car. Your car was due to you in 6 months, which would actually take you to the timeline that you were told when your car was going to be ready. Oh, I didn't think it would make that much difference, she says, like that. I said, oh my gosh. Here is God answering you, if you want to put it that way. Here is his messengers trying to help you. Here's your body. I said to her, did you feel anything in your body? She said, yeah, I felt really queasy in my stomach. And I just thought I must have been hungry, or that, again, my body was playing up. And I said, oh my gosh, how many messages do you need? How many signs do you need? She's not alone, right? I'll bet you've done some of these things. I'll bet you've ignored messages, signs, feelings from your stomach. I said to her, if you had taken 1 minute, because I was talking to her about the practices that I teach and have taught her about tuning in, and she said, but I was at a car yard. And I said, oh my gosh, you humans are so full of it. And so full of excuses. You don't have to go and sit on a flaming mountain in an orange robe to connect. I said to her, you could have said to that car salesman, just give me a minute. I need to go and just have a think about this. I said, and if you tune in to your, no, she's definitely not alone, Lisa. If you tune in and you are aligned with yourself, you can have those answers immediately. So do you know that even when he was talking to you and your sister both felt it, if you had even just asked then, taken a breath and gone, is this right? Your body would have either tipped forward, tipped back, or you would have lost your balance and thought, what happened there? You'd have been looking at your feet going, what happened? That's your answer. And that's how easy the answers come when you're aligned and you take notice. I said, you could have called upon your grandmother to come and just stand there if it's not right. Gran, can you just show me? And this is the same as I was talking about in the supermarket. The grandmother would have responded. She's put that premise on it. Gran, can you just rock up if this isn't right? And there you go. There will be an image. There will be a smell. There will be someone walking past. You go, oh my gosh, looks like my grandmother. But do you take the signs? No. We just ignore them and keep moving on, and then wonder why everything goes to So, oh my, it was such an awesome session with her. Oh, look out. Then she went on to complain about her body. And she says, what is wrong with my body now? Why doesn't it like the food? What's the matter with it? My body is just, it's such a problem. And I said, sorry, who's the problem? And she stopped and went, my body is. And I said, oh, I don't know. Let's have a look at this. So what's the problem? And she said, well, I can't eat this now and I can't eat that now. And this is happening with this food and yada, yada. And I said, all right, let's back it up. let's have a look here. What happens when you have that food? And she said, what happens? And I said, what do you think your body is telling you? She said, oh, I don't know. I said, oh my gosh, are we back to the start? Have we done a full circle and we're back to the start? And she just paused for a minute and looked at me and she said, oh, I must be missing something. And I said, oh, you think? I said to her, you know, your body is amazing. And she was like, I said, you should be giving your body the biggest hugs, the biggest love, and thanking it. And she said, for what? It's always something wrong with it. I said, it's not something wrong with it. It is talking to you. She goes, well, why doesn't it talk to me and tell me what it wants instead of what it doesn't want? I said, well, again, why don't you listen? It's telling you what it can't have, what's not sitting well with it, and you keep eating it. Do any of you do that? Women that have hot flushes, I say to them, no red meat, no chicken, no farmed fish, no pasta, no rice, no white bread. Oh, no, my God, I can't be without my pasta. I can't be without my bread. I can't be. I'm like, okay, well, have fun with your hot flushes. Oh, no, that can't be anything to do with the food. It's the hormones. Oh, is it really? Yeah, it's your liver moaning. Never mind hormones. It's your liver moaning. Clean up your liver and watch what happens. Oh, but I have gone from 10 coffees down to maybe 8 a day. I go, are you what? Are you serious? You have 10 coffees? Oh, well, I've cut them down. But I'm still getting the hot flushes. Yeah, right. So what did you have for dinner? Oh, well, I had a beautiful big piece of steak, and I had we had a rice dish that, you know, a lovely salad, rice salad Mum used to make. I'm like, this is me. And some days I just have to go, oh, I just don't know. Oh, but I can't give that up. It's my favourite. And I go, fine. Then don't give up your hot flushes. That's fine too. You can't have one and you know, not the other. So live with it if that's what you want to do. No, but I don't want it. I don't want the hot flushes. So here's my beautiful client going crook about her body and how bad it is. And I said, I feel so sorry for your soul. Here it is talking to you just like you want. Here's God and all God's messengers talking to you just like you want. And here's your body letting you know what it doesn't want. And what are you doing? Oh, yeah, sign that piece of paper, get that car. And she goes, well, what am I going to do now? I said, take the damn thing back and tell them I don't want it. I didn't buy a new car to have it breaking down every other day. And what do you think her answer was? I reckon it would be pretty much the same answer most of you would give. What do you reckon it was? So I said, well, I'll just leave you with it. You did this. You created it. So now you decide how you're going to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. I want my body to behave. I want my car to work. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. So when you want to have that incredible alignment with your inner wisdom, with the authority of your wisdom, pay attention, accept the signs, and then ask, what is this about? And work with it rather than push against it. Do you know you can hold a piece of food in your hand? Lisa, this is just for you. Look, I can hold a crystal. Isn't that beautiful? Rainbow fluorite. I can hold a piece of crystal and say, wow, that's really pretty. Is that for me? And I know right away from the feeling in my energy, the feeling in my body, maybe even the sensation of holding it, that no, that one's not. So then I go along and I might pick up another one. This is also rainbow fluorite. Look at the difference in it. was beautiful. So I might go along and pick up another piece. Mind you, I call before I get there. But anyway, that's another story. And I'll pick it up and ask the same thing, and I get immediate heat, or I get a sensation of bliss, love, yeah, or I want to smile. Yes, this one, my soul's talking to it. It's talking to my soul. It's coming home. How many of you use these kind of things that are the radar, that are the communication of your soul and your body? Remember, your body is the messenger of the soul. It's the physical messenger. So hot flushes, your liver's up the creek. If you scratch yourself and you get big welts when you scratch yourself because you had an itch, you've got parasites in your gut. Why not pay attention? And you will have had other things come up. It's as simple as listening. And what's one of the things that parents often say to kids? Will you just listen to me? So when we want a message from our soul, and as I said, this beautiful lady was told her car would not be ready for whatever it was, 1 or 2 years, and it went down, 18 months and so on. And she was told towards the end last year, 6 months. And then she goes to the car yard and they confirm it, but no, because there's this other one on offer. It's got the 6 months has got to be wrong. Do you see? It just creates a world of headache when it could be a beautiful flow of ease instead. It's always a choice. And it's not about berating yourself because you chose not to listen. It's more a case of observing and going, well, maybe I could listen a bit better next time. And maybe I could really dedicate myself to taking up practices that help me to listen better, to see better. And when I ask for a sign from the spirit world, instead of going, oh, that can't be right, and ignoring it, I'm going to go, thank you. And you'll be amazed at the miracles that come your way. You'll be amazed at the way that you can change the trajectory of your life and your health. I'm just going to see what Karen's got to say here in the laugh. Glad you had a laugh, Karen. Thank you. Karen says, I asked for a message tonight as I sat outside before this stream started. There's a female dog that had pups in our street. The owner's gone away. Oh, the dog is wandering up and down the street looking for food. So I've left food out the front for her. I asked if I'm meant to have one of these pups. Gwenda will mention dogs tonight as a sign of confirmation. Oh, look at that synchronicity, Karen. Isn't that awesome? Oh, beautiful. And you're being thanked for feeding the mother dog. And if you could continue to put food out, she needs a lot of food because she's feeding those pups, and for those pups to be able to form and develop properly. So if you wouldn't mind, Karen, being like a pseudo mum, pseudo owner for her, never mind the owners. It's irrespective of the owners. It is the soul of the dog and the pups that you are being of service to. That's what matters. And by the way, that's what gets you a tick in the gold book. You all like those. What's Lisa saying? So if you're told 2 years, for example, then nothing changes that timeline. Oh, yeah, you change that timeline. That's the only thing that can change it. Now, I'm going to flip that before Lisa takes it. I can feel where she's going to go, I think. Okay, so in this instance, in this example I've given you, this was divine guidance that came through because my client had asked about getting a new car, and that's what was given to her. It will be in this timeline, which means, yes, Lisa, that's it. And look at what's happened. It is meant to be. And even what the car salesman said, your cars will be ready in 6 months. But she did not listen. So that's already been given. And that's a great example. What Lisa's asking there is a great example of what I come up against constantly. When guidance is given, the person wants to argue the fact that it doesn't suit them. They don't want that timeline, or they don't want that to happen, or that can't happen for me. How would you know? You're coming from a mind that's all constructed in this mess here. How would you know what can happen, can't happen? It's laughable, truly, and it's the only way I keep my sanity anyway. Now, on the other side of the coin, if you remember my story of how I come to go on my crusade, and the promise I made to the lady as I laid her out when I was only a young nurse, I could not accept that the surgeon was able to tell her that she had 14 days to live, and I laid her out on the 14th day. So I made a promise to her as I was laying her out that I would go on a crusade, a journey of understanding more about how this happens, illness, disease, and it changed my acceptance, because remember, I was a nurse. It changed my acceptance of disease and illness. And it's been an incredible journey for some 40 odd years now. And it continues to be amazing all the time. So when my father was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's, and they gave him 7 years, so I'm still answering Lisa's question here. They gave him 7 years, and I said, oh my gosh, Dad, don't listen to that. And he's like, no, love, no, it's all right. I won't. It's all good. And good evening, Slinky. I don't know that everybody wants to look at that end of you. Oh, no, love, he says, it'll be all good. Well, when do you reckon, hello? When do you reckon he passed? In the 7th year. One lady challenged me, and I use that word because she was really quite terse and a little bit rude when I was delivering this talk in one of my talks. And she said, well, don't you think that all the surgeon did was confirm what her soul already knew? Don't you think that it's nothing to do with the surgeon? And another one said, and don't you think it is the power of suggestion? So, power of suggestion, that's why people believe what they see in the media. That's why people believe what they see on the news. It is the power of suggestion. It is how the mass mentality is created, power of suggestion. That is why Coca-Cola, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and who else, those ones that have been around for such a long time, that's why they've been so successful, because they've been in people's faces for over 50 years. And they have never stopped advertising. And why? Because it's the power of suggestion. It is the way to create the change in people's way of thinking. How do we learn? Repetition. What is promotion? Repetition. What is marketing? Repetition. So when you want to change the way you think, you perceive, you do something, you must dedicate yourself to being consistent with it, because all the habits you have now, you don't have them because you started them yesterday. You have them because you've built them over however many years of age you are. That's why unraveling them can be a bit of a challenge. So there's a difference. Do you see Lisa's question about the 2 years in regards to a timeline, and nothing changes that timeline? If it is to do with health and well-being, and someone else is telling you that you have got X amount of time to live. Now, if you made that choice on your soul agreement for this lifetime that you would be out of here at age 52, and it just so happens that this disturbance in your body comes in when you are 47 or whatever, and the doctor gives you that timeline, well, that would be a coincidence, and it would be acceptable to you because your soul has already agreed that it's leaving when you are 52. If, on the other hand, your soul agreement is that you're sticking around till you're 96 and a doctor gives you a timeline, it just won't happen unless your mind runs the show and you decide to do everything that is going to unravel your timeline, and then you will go. But it will be such a long, painful, challenging passing because you're not supposed to. It's best not to mess with timelines. But I come back to my initial point, alignment. Alignment is key. When you are in alignment, nothing can take you away from what is right with your soul agreement. Now, we all make little detours, and sometimes we jump around like we've got one foot nailed to the floor, and we, leap around in circles until we finally go, I'm getting off this, and make a choice and a decision to shift something. And most of the time it needs to be a shift of attitude, needs to be a shift of perception. Most of all, it needs to be a decision to align with your true self. Align with that ancient, incredible wisdom that lies within every single one of you. You have a wellspring of wisdom within you. In order to make a decision, Nicole's asking, in order to make a decision about what I'm going to do moving forward, even in making a decision about moving forward, if you are in complete alignment, then that decision becomes much easier and there is flow and everything flows. When you are learning lessons from the past, if your mind is in the way and it is busy deconstructing, there's one of those stupid words, if your mind is busy analyzing lessons from the past, then you are not in alignment with your soul. And why do I say that? Because the soul knows what the lessons are, and the soul is the one that decides the lesson is learned, not the mind. Anytime that you are in the mind and you are analyzing something and looking at a lesson from the past and wanting to understand it from here, then you are not in alignment. If instead you were to sit in stillness and ask your soul about that lesson or the challenge that has come your way, and ask it to show you what is the richness in this experience. See, I don't really agree with the word lessons. Everything that we have here is an experience for soul evolving, soul expansion or not. So in Jack's case, who's comfortably sitting on the couch now, he refused. He refused to pay attention to the experiences and instead let them absorb him into darkness, into deep, deep depression, and not being able to be his real self. And he never felt like he fitted in here. And he's showing off now because he's now been to the Akashic records of his life. He's now been in his school of life in heaven to watch everything, and knows, as he did tell his mum, when he appeared at Christmas time and asked me to tell her that he now knows why it was so hard for him between 0 and 8 years of age, what it was. And you know what? As soon as I spoke those words, so did she know. And it was heartbreaking for her. It's liberating for Jack. So he sits very comfortably and very happily on my couch right now, skiting really about having finished his time, because last time I saw him, things started to change. And he said, "What's going on? What's going on?" And I said, "I told you, you are not supposed to leave the record of life, your library of life." And he had said to me, Jack's rules, nobody else's. And I went, "Well, we'll see." And then all of his spirits started to change and sort of fragment. And he was going, "What's going on? What's going on?" And I said, "I told you, you are being called back and you will not change the rules." There are some rules in heaven that apply that you cannot change. So he got called back, and obviously he's finished and he's come to Scott about that. So if you look at the things in your life more as an experience than a lesson, and ask for the richness in that experience, you'll find it easier to be able to grow from it and to embrace what that richness is. A lesson has an unconscious and subconscious negative connotation to it. I'll teach you a lesson. In this lesson, you will learn. And that speaks to a different frequency that is earthbound frequency, and it is a negative. Can you relate? I'm just going to read, Nicole's got a great comment here. This topic's very timely. 12 days ago, my new boss shared about some dodgy and unlawful practices that weren't in alignment with my integrity. I wasn't happy about it at all and told him from past toxic workplace experiences I felt I needed to set some boundaries. He was a bit perplexed, I bet he was, Nicole, by this, and said, "We will revisit in 3 months after probation." 3 days later, I contracted an illness, influenza, a couple of days in, and I was intuitively told it was a forced stop for me to acknowledge these red flags. Well done, Nicole. It's a shame that things had to be stepped up to make you sick, to make you really look in, but well done. Well done. That's really good. Yes, love to gorgeous Jackie. That's right, to glorious Jackie. So I hope that there has been some beautiful richness and some aha moments for you tonight. And I really encourage you to get used to dedicating a few minutes a day to just listen, feel, smell, see, because you know, in the spiritual community, there's that wonderful thing that says we're all the same and we're all in this together. And you all know how much I love you. I love that. Thank you. That's fabulous, Nicole. You're very welcome. It's my pleasure to be of service. So, and it's a delight to have you join us too, Nicole. Oh, beautiful, Karen. Thank you. I love Monday nights too. I really enjoy delivering the messages for you all on Monday night. It's a nice way to end the first day of the working week, or, you know, end the first day of the week, whichever way it goes, and hopefully kick off with some nice energy. And yeah, it's a pleasure, Nicole. So I really, really encourage you to get used to spending some time just in nothingness. Let your mind ramble on, but see it tripping by like a sushi train. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. There's some seaweed. There's some octopus. there's some tuna, whatever it is. Just let it go by. Don't pay attention and see how you feel afterwards. You know, for very busy minds, analytical minds, a bit of OCD, a bit of anxiety, a bit of whatever, all of the construct of this world, just to have a few minutes a day of smelling the flowers, sitting on the grass, picking at the grass, looking at the sky, listening to birds sing, your soul can go, and your body can go, yes. And it's a great way to start. It's a great way to begin your journey. I don't know. Does the hat fit, Lisa? Does the shoe fit? Sock fit? Something. Oh, you're very welcome, Kelly and Ash. Yeah, like that, Nicole. Soul is the teacher, human is the student. Human should have a dunce hat on. Oh, who said that? So I thank my beautiful Jack for rocking up tonight. That was a really nice surprise. And yeah, Lisa, it's perfectly. It's how things we want things to be, isn't it? We wouldn't want for them to be too big, get lost in them. Now, oh yeah, and I did have and can still feel the beautiful energy. And I would say that because I can feel it coming through rather than her talking through me tonight, she's just been present within me, is Queen Anastasia. I can feel her energy. It's just magnificent. And to you, Jackie, beautiful Jackie. Now, a little bit of goss, a little bit of news, bizzo. I am in the process of planning a retreat. So keep your ears and eyes peeled for that. It will be, I will promote it on here. I will have some info on the website coming up. There will be info on the Facebook page. And then, of course, on the 24th of April here in Perth, I mean, the rest of you could catch a plane over, hey, it's called An Evening with G for Gwenda, G for God. But the word that the organisation who have asked me to be their facilitator has used is meditation. But I can promise you it will not be a meditation like anything you've been to as a meditation. That won't be my gig. I don't fit into the classic box. So it is going to be an exceptional experiential experience. Triple E's. Woo, yeah. So it's going to be a really different night. And then it's followed by a question and answer, spiritual question and answer time. And it's going to be a fantastic evening. Now, I have had a couple of people ask about it being done over East. It's a possibility. But the thing is, people ask me and then they've got to show up. So there is ecstatic. Yes, Nicole. So there is the retreat. There is that evening with G. And then I'm also creating some wonderful things to put into the Spirit Seekers Society for people, which I'm very excited about. And I'm not giving you any details about that at the moment. So there's quite a bit going on behind the scenes. And just keep your eyes and ears peeled, and I will put things in here, obviously. So it's been an absolute delight, and now made me it's warm thanks to Jack, Anastasia, and my desk cat. I don't think you can see, but Slinky has taken up the whole desk. Oh yeah, Lisa, so many G's in your life. How awesome's that? So my deepest gratitude to all of you for coming in again tonight, for being with me, for your energy and your interaction. So much love and gratitude. Thank you. Thank you very much. and I'll say good night. And next Monday, I believe, is a public holiday. There won't be any Soul and Beyond if it's a public holiday. I might do a little pre-record for you, but I won't promise that just at the moment. Thank you, Karen. Woo, some flowers. Everybody have a beautiful night. Sleep well, sweet dreams.